Let's see how we can use the offset function in Google Sheets. We have the offset function Google Sheet open and it has the data template we require. In column A, we have the serial number from 1 to 10 using the sequence function with rows 10, columns 1, start 1, and step 1. In column B, we have the product from A to J. In column C, we have the cost price for the product given in column B. In column D we have the profit and loss of the product given in column B. And in column E we have the selling price for the product, given in column B. In the 12th row, we have the grand total, that is the total cost price in cell C12. Total profit or loss in cell D12, and total selling price in cell E12. In cell G2, we have a drop-down for the products listed in the B2 to B11 range from A to J. Let's select product A for now. In cell H2, we can select either the cost price, or the profit or loss, or the selling price. We will select the cost price for now. In I2 cell, we want the row of the product selected in the G2 cell. In the J2 cell we want the column of the value cost price, or profit or loss, or selling price selected in the H2 cell. And in the K2 cell, we want the value. So if we select the product, A, in the G2 cell, and the cost price in the H2 cell, the value we want is the cost price of the product, A, that is 10,000, in the K2 cell. In the G4 and G5 cells, we have the total cost price, and the total selling price, so we want the total cost price, and the total selling price in the H4 and H5 cells using the offset function. Now, first to get the row of the product, we will use a match function. Which finds the position of an item in a range that matches values. It takes search key, range, and optional search type as arguments. An example is shown. For our case, we'll write equal to match, search key will be the product we have selected in the drop-down in the G2 cell. The range, we want to search for the product selected in the G2 cell, in the B2 to B11 range. And the search type, since we want an exact match, so we will write 0. We get the row as 1, suppose, if we change the product to B, the row will change to 2, if we change the product to J, the row will change to 10. Let's select the product as A, for now. For the column we will again use the match function, but here the search key will be the one we have selected in the H2 cell. And the range will be from C1 to E1, and again we want an exact match so the search type will be 0. So we see that we get the column as 1, if we select profit or loss, the column will be changed to 2, if we select selling price, it will change to 3. Let's select the cost price for now. And for value, we can get the value using the offset function. We will write equal to offset. Offset function gives the reference offset relative to a cell. It takes cell reference, offset rows, offset columns, optional height, and optional width as arguments. So, the cell reference for our case will be B1, that is from cell B1 we want one or more rows offset, or one or more columns offset. Offset rows. Now, since the product, A, is in the next row from B1 cell, we can use the value we got using the match function in the I2 cell for row. We will write this as I2. Then the offset columns. Now the cost price is in the column next to the B1 cell, so again we can use the value we got using the match function in the J2 cell for column. we will write this as J2, for now we won't give any optional height or width. We see that, we get the value as 10,000, that is the cost price of product A, is 10,000, for product A, the cost price is 10,000. If we change the cost price to profit or loss, the value becomes 0, column is changed to 2, and row is the same, 1, for product A, the profit or loss is 0. If we change the value in cell H2 to selling price, again we get the value as 10,000, and the column is 3, for product A, the selling price is 10,000. If we check for the product J, and let's say we check the cost price, so the row number changes to 10 and the column is 1, and the value we get is 7,000, for the product J, the cost price is 7,000. In cell H2, if we select profit or loss, we get the column as 2. And the value is 1,000, for product J, the profit or loss is 1,000. Let's say we check for the selling price, so the row is 10 only, but the column changes to 3, and the value is 8,000. For product J, the selling price is 8,000. Now, let's see how we can get the total cost price using the offset function. So first we will check what result we get using the offset function, with the optional height and the optional width arguments. Let's say we write equal to offset at B1, comma. Offset rows will be 1, offset columns will be 1, comma, the height, since we have 10 products, the number of rows is 10, so we will write height as 10, that is, we want a height of 10 rows. The width, since we want the cost price and the profit or loss, we will write the optional width as 2. We see that we get the cost price and the profit or loss for all 10 products. If we change the argument of optional width to 1, we will get only the cost price values for the 10 products. So, if we do a sum of these cost prices, we will get the total cost price. And if we change the optional width from 1 to 2, we will get the cost price and the profit or loss. If we do a sum of these, we will get the total selling price. Let's delete this for now. We will write equal to sum. Offset cell reference will be B1, offset rows will be 1, offset columns will be 1, optional height will be 10, and optional width for the cost price is 1. Let's close the bracket for offset, let's close the bracket for sum. Let's not autofill the data. We see that the total cost price is the same as the sum given in the C12 cell. To get the total selling price, we will use the same formula. So let's copy the formula from the cell H4 and paste it in the cell H5. But instead of optional width being 1, we will use the optional width as 2, because the sum of the cost price and the profit or loss will give us the selling price. We see that the total selling price is the same as given in the E12 cell. With this, we have successfully learned how to use the offset function in Google Sheets. Thank you for your time. Please like, share, and subscribe if this video was useful.